What's on, guys? Jay Hoyd back with you. Today, welcome to a brand new series on the channel. We took a year off, but we are back with a Yes, you heard it right. We are back with a brand new series. We are back here on franchise mode. I guess I didn't realize this. We didn't actually do a franchise mode last year. We had to be a pro mode. Not really my full cup of tea. Franchise mode is where I'm super comfortable and I kind of feel I know what it takes to build a winning franchise here on NHL 23. So if you guys remember all the way back to NHL 18, we had the Seattle Attack. The next year in NHL 19, we did the Chicago Blackhawks. NHL 20, we did a Be a Pro, which I think was Nikita Bakos, if I remember correctly. NHL 21 was the Detroit Red Wings. NHL 22, we didn't do anything as far as a franchise mode. And then this year, we're going to be using the Anaheim Ducks. I kind of went back and forth on a few different teams and kind of, was thinking, what team hasn't really done much? And it was, honestly, I really wanted to do an Arizona one because I feel like they were just in a forever rebuild. But this one, we're going to do the Ducks. Now, I was doing a little bit of research before this. So, obviously, they were the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, and then they turned into the Anaheim Ducks. So, they have only won one Stanley Cup in their entirety of the Ducks franchise. So, both the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim and the Anaheim Ducks, the only year they actually won, according to Elite Prospects here, is 2006, 2007, were the first year of the Anaheim Ducks. So we're in for a treat, right? It's not like they haven't been good. The last, 5 years, I guess, they've kind of been out of the playoffs. Where's the points? I don't even know where points is on the screen. But even before then, they had a good 5 or 6 or even 7 year run of, pretty much making the playoffs every year. So we got to restore this franchise back to its heyday, back to a winning franchise, and kind of turn this ship around. So in order to do that, let's start with who we have on our roster. And we have a couple of good young talents on the team, which is already a huge start, right? We're not starting with nothing. So we have Trevor Zegras, which obviously is a huge piece there, 21 years old. We have Troy Terry, 25 years old, a little bit older, but still, he's still there as well. And also Mason McTavish is there, along with Lundstrom here, who's 22. And I can't think of anyone else who's kind of young. I mean, we have Ryan Strome, who's coming off of a few decent years in the Rangers organization. I guess you want to throw Comtois and Jones in there as young players, but they're more of third line, fourth line type players. So I'm not going to really expect them to do much of anything. So we have a decent start. We have, I guess, a couple of pieces to build around our defense. Okay, so Cam Fowler, Klingberg. I actually forgot Klingberg was on this team. Kulikov, Drysdale, Boileau, or Nathan Boileau? I don't remember how to pronounce his name. And Shattenkirk. So we have actually kind of a solid defense. Like to kind of get an upgrade to the top 4 if we ever get to it. John Gibson. So we already have a good goaltender there. Sam Carrick, random forward, I guess. Maybe we send Carrick down. We'll send Leeson down and put Carrick in the lineup so the young players can kind of develop. Who do we have down here in the AHL? Anyone of note? I don't recognize any of these names. I guess Braden Tracy. Oh, this guy. Sniper, first round. Okay, 20 years old. All right, so we have one, I guess. One. Anyone else? I guess Anderson. Levy's there, but he's not really that good. Colton White. Any goalies? Dostal, I guess. Okay, and Eriksson Ek as a goaltender. All right, so looks like we gotta do some lineup additions, if you will. Put Benoit and Vakalainen. Let's go with that. Let's put them in the lineup. We'll make Leeson out of the lineup, send him down, kind of get the lines sorted, and we'll get right into the regular season. Most likely through the first year, we'll kind of just be ride it out, see how we do, and hopefully make the playoffs. Obviously, probably not, since we're going to kind of rebuild this team, and then we'll kind of focus on the future and, you know, what's going to go after that. So let's make these lineup changes and get right into the season. A decent preseason. We get a crap ton of trade offers here in the first couple of months. We're 24 games through. All right, let's keep it going. Right, 11, 9, and 4. I mean, that's not awful. So we'll keep it running. We'll keep it going. I mean, like I said, we're not expecting much in the first year. And even if we're like a bubble team, unless we're in a really good position to like make a run, then I'm not going to go for it. Because I'd like to like start the rebuild so we can kind of retool our roster here. But I mean, if we're gonna win in our first year, I mean, that's great. So halfway through the year, 45 points. We are, what is that, 9 off the top of the standing, or off the Pacific Division. But we are in a pretty close race, right? Between us and the rest of the teams in our division, it's a pretty close race. As far as the rest of the league goes, I mean, kind of 45 seems to be a pretty normal number. It looks like a lot of teams are having at least decent success. The Coyotes on top of the Central? Tell me this is a video game without telling me it's a video game. But we're halfway through the year. Right, let's get up to the trade deadline, right? It's first video. We're not expecting too much. Let's get close, but not exactly to it. Let's go like the 22nd. We're not going to make this video go super long. That's one thing I've kind of noticed in the past with my franchise mode videos, is once they get up to like 20 or 30 minutes, that's too long. So we're going to try to cut it down a little bit, try to get some more cuts in here, and try to work in, you know, more action, less just dead time. Coach Derek Canzello, I'm concerned about our lack of scoring. Sure, Ross. You probably won't be here next year. So, like, shut up. Thanks. Because, like, that'll probably be one of the first things, because we fire all of our coaches, get our scouting staff, and kind of redo all of the front office. Because we already got a new GM here, right? I'm the new GM. Or the owner. I'm not really sure. Because, like, he's happy I kept my promise? Yep, everything worked. You got it, coach. You absolutely got it. I'm glad you're happy. Did we even... Oh, I guess we won 8-1. Is that why? I don't know. Because, like, we're doing all the owner stuff, but we're also the GM. So, like, whatever you want to call us. So, all right, where are we? 58 games played. Let's get up to 60. So that way it's nice and even. We'll have 22 games left in the season. All right. 63 points. Wild card is at 65. Of course. Right on the bubble. So now, how likely are we to make the playoffs? So we're at 63. 65, 62. I mean, we definitely have a decent chance. So here's going to be kind of the big question. Do we want to attempt to go for it in the first year? Or do we just plan on forgetting about this first year and trying to go for it next year with a retooled team? Because how much, like, what are we at here? So Zegras is leading the way. What's the rest of the league saying? 63 is kind of about even. So we have $19.6 million in cap room. So I guess what do we need to be doing right now? We need to be kind of solidifying what we want to do. So do we have any like big contracts? We don't. I'm not a big fan of that Strome contract. The Silverberg one, I mean, 20 points for like a third liner, but on a $5 million contract. I mean, like, that's not ideal, but like, again, if we're going to be going for the rebuild, like that Toronto contract, like, that's going to be one we try to, like, if we were truly trying to rebuild, like, those are the types of contracts I'd try to move. Like, that Strome one would be too, but then also, like, we already have so much cap room that that's probably going to have to be an off-season thing. So that kind of sucks for now, at least. So what we could do is try to explore a help for the future, but could also help us this year trades. So trade something like of a Toronto for like a second, third line player, similar contract or even more money, because he has some trade value on him, which is, I guess, nice to see. So we could definitely take back a bigger contract for more money this year, or let's just say even like 2 or less years, and try to get rid of that contract, because that'll help us out for flexibility in the future. That's what I got to look at too, is flexibility in future. Because all these other ones down here kind of don't care. I mean, they're all like really kind of low money anyway, so that doesn't really matter. I mean, some of these are going to come off the books anyway next year, or going into next year, I should say. So I'm not really too worried about that. Something else we have to look at too is like a Kevin Shattenkirk type of player. He is expiring this year. If we were to do something like keep Drysdale, which like we're probably going to do anyway, and then keep Klingberg all the way at the top there, then we don't need Shattenkirk, right? We'll have a good top 2 right-hand defenseman, and then we'll sign some guy for like maybe 1.5 mil to play on the third line. Like, that's the type of things we'll have to look at. So maybe a left-hand defenseman with a little bit of a contract we might be able to get in there. Similar thing to a Vetrano, help for the future, but also kind of create that flexibility. Those types of trades are what I'm going to try to look for going into next episode. We're going to try to do these as much as possible, get some more NHL content back on the channel, and not just do Call of Duty. Because although Call of Duty has been a staple of my channel, NHL has been too, and I've been really badly neglecting it. So we're going to do some work off camera, kind of get some general ideas, going towards the trade deadline, and we'll give an outlook on the rest of the year and, how we want to build towards next offseason, or this offseason, I should say, for next year. We'll also might be going for a playoff run as well. So that's going to do it for episode number 1 of, I don't know what I'm going to call it, but rebuilding the Anaheim Ducks franchise, getting them back to the Mighty Ducks, if you will. But with all that being said, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, hit that like button down below if you haven't yet, or if you're brand new here, make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you never miss an upload, and don't forget, you can always change your mind later. With all that being said, guys, we'll see you in the next one.